Primoz Roglic leads the Vuelta after 11 stages, but somehow, in our playthrough, Jose Felix Parra has managed to gain a top 3 position on the GC over halfway into the race. It's an unbelievable achievement for the rider, but can we maybe hold on to that position today? And we have 5 mountain stages on the menu, guys. I mean, this mountaintop finish is apparently a medium mountain stage, and it's an absolute brute. Stage 13, an absurd finish. I mean, an average of 11.3% over 5.5k. Then we have another mountain stage, finally not a mountaintop finish though, after 2 to start the day. And then, I mean, look at this climb, 20 kilometers with a max gradient of almost 19%. And then it's not the end, because the Lagos de Covadonga, one of the most famous climbs in La Vuelta, of course. I think this has potential to be an absolutely epic episode. And well, the red jersey, Primoz Roglic, is the favourite, unsurprisingly, for this 130 kilometers. It's short, but it's difficult. So I would have liked to put Gutierrez on this +1 day in today's breakaway. That was not possible though, didn't manage to get him to the front, but we do have Pau, who will now work with this group of 9 riders up the road. Mario Schmid, maybe the best rider here, but Gotson Martin, one of the riders of the race so far, is here in polka dots. Probably wasting some energy though, because, buddy, there's no points available until the finish line. 11 stages in then, we're halfway through the Vuelta. Guys, let me know who's been your rider of the race so far in the comments below. Not gonna lie, for me, there's been 3 stages so far, so a bit hard for me to make that prediction, but I'll opt with the guy I said in the first episode, Matthias Vacek. He's gonna be the rider to watch at this race. Let's see how he's done by the time this goes out. So the main reason Pau is in this breakaway is to try and take the points at this intermediate sprint. I don't think anyone is going to challenge him here. So let's just come to the front, settle down into our rhythm and cross the line in first place. Lovely stuff. A 30-point buffer to Wout and Roglic. The tempo in the peloton is absolutely relentless right now. We need to move up with Parra, and to be honest, the climb isn't that steep. It has some steep pitches, of course, but there are sections where we can hopefully recover and hopefully not lose too much time. UAE are pacing so hard today. I'm sure Almeida has to attack to reward this work at least, but Parra, oh my word, this -1 day is not the day to have it, my man. To be fair, none of the days at the Vuelta are. 8k to go. This stage has been absolutely rapid. Suddenly, we're coming into the finale. Breakaway have 1 minute, so I do think it's going to be a day for the peloton, as now Pavel Sivkov to the front. I'm really struggling to see a scenario where we don't lose heaps of time with Parra today, but whilst we're in this position in GC, let's just do our absolute best. Pau, by the way, is still up the road. Michael Rees looking pretty done. Let's try and stay here if we can. Maybe grab the wheel of Primoz Roglic with Mikel and Parra way back in the group, just trying to head up this climb at his own rhythm, but he is now cracking. Anyway, let's cut to the front, because this could be a GC sprint. There goes Teo Gegenhardt. Miguel is staying on Roglic's wheel. Does he have the kicks? Guillermosa certainly doesn't. Wrong wheel. And Giulio Ciccone is just about going to get pipped on the line by Mikel Landa of all riders. Roglic is only second, and Parra going to lose some time, but it's not an absolute disaster today. Landa, Roglic and Ciccone pick up 5 seconds on everyone else. Great ride by Mikel to finish in the top 10. Parra does lose 54 seconds. Not the worst. Look at the riders we're around. Lipovic, Martinez, very strong riders right next to us, and we drift down to 5th place in the GC. And obviously I can see that happening throughout these climbs, throughout this episode, but whilst he's there, I do think it's important to try and hold on as best we can to the top 10 place in the GC, but the rest of our guys, they have to stay offensive. Quick update on other comps. We still lead Roglic in the points jersey, and Gotson Martin, of course, still holding the KOM jersey, whilst we also lead the team classification somehow. And today is one of the hardest stages of the race, one of the hardest finishes for sure, because the Puerto de Ancales is going to be brutal. Look at those gradients. Fast start to today's stage then. I do want to get Barade on this +1 day into today's breakaway. That finish does suit him with that medium mountain stat. I do have Mikel up the road again. It's always easy to get him in the breakaway because he starts at the front in that green jersey. Small group of 11, well, medium-sized group of 11 with 2 up the road. Now, Jose Felix Parra does get that +1 day, giving me some hope at least. So slightly risky move here, as I've dropped Mikel back to help Barade to bridge this gap to the breakaway. Gotson Martin, not a good day for him. He's struggling to hold the wheels. The juncture has been made then. Barade is in today's group, but of course we still have competition from Van Etvout. Second KOM sprint of the day, then waiting for the attack from Van Etvout. Doesn't come, so Barade is going to go himself, lead out from the front. I think we've timed that just enough to hold off the Belgian rider, protecting Parra's position in that competition. I would absolutely love to get Pau back into this group ahead of this intermediate sprint to pick up a big 20 points. Look at the teamwork on display from Kern Pharma. It is a joy to see. There we go, we are back. Can't imagine we'll be contested here. Pau rolls through this intermediate sprint in first place. Perfect stuff in our tempo for Barade for the rest of the day. 151 points. We are opening up a gap here. What a teammate. Pau has done a great job working for Barade, who is now in a good position to challenge for today's stage, but we have to stay with these guys now attacking from the front. 34k to go, 4.5 minutes gap. It's not impossible, but it's going to be difficult from here with EF on the front. Okay, 22k to go. Mikel Landa has attacked from this group. I wonder if it may be worth trying to follow with this kind of false flat drag into that absurd final climb. I can't imagine so. So let's just stay here with Parra for now, as Barade trying to get back to the front, but we are some way off this front six now. All right, Barade has given everything, and he is going to latch on to this group, but we have pretty much no energy left to challenge for the stage. At least we're here. Soso delivers the water to our lead guys. Perfectly done, my man. Make sure Pablo gets his water. There we go. That is all we need. Staying in good position here as Barade on the final climb, but he's going to be dropped. So this climb isn't long. I think Irabar can move out of the way now, and we will have Castrillo protecting Pablo all the way to the top. Energy not looking great, and it has just begun. Oh my word, this is so steep. Jose Felix Parra is currently on absurd percentages, with Castrillo still here to help him out, and we are just about clinging on to the front of the race. Maybe Barade can do some work for us here, but we need to stay to the front, and these guys, they're just simply better climbers than us. They can set the same tempo for them and go up this climb quicker than us. Anyway, we have to stay very patient now into this final kilometre. I mean, Adam Yates is getting dropped, which means we're doing a great climb today. We're going to be nowhere near the red jersey, of course, but no harm in that. The red jersey is dropped by Sepp Kuss as Jon Izagirre goes for stage victory, and he is going to get it, I think, just denying Sepp Kuss and the fast finishing Felix Gau, as Roglic shows some weakness today. And how about Jose Felix Parra? There's Carapaz alongside him, Rojas just up the road, so is Almeida. We are finishing in very good company today. I've had a little break since the last episode, and guys, just want to take stock a bit of how we're doing here. We are 5th place in La Vuelta after 13 stages. I would have bitten your hand off for that at the start of the series, but we're also up there in the points jersey holding that. We're in contention for the mountains classification as well. Few of our riders have some points, so really, this race couldn't have gone much better. The only thing I truly regret is not taking red when we definitely had the chance to. So a long stage today, almost 200 kilometers, but I have decided to try to get 2 riders into today's breakaway. Guillaume Martin, George Bennett, 2 very good climbers trying to join us here. We have Pablo Castrillo. Again, he's probably our best rider, but he just hasn't had any great race days so far at this race. Nonetheless, he is in the breakaway. Ibon Ruiz has done a massive job. Obviously, our first stage winner at this race. He is working for Castrillo today, and he has assured this breakaway has gone up the road as David Gaudu and Jon Izagirre trying everything to get across. I'm not sure they're going to do it. And that would have actually put Gaudu in a great position with Rojas and Thompson up the road as well. Just focusing on this final climb briefly as we come to it shortly. It's not very steep at all by the Vuelta standards. 22 kilometers in length though, but only 4.5%. Parra, you can survive today, my man. We may as well take these points as we're on the front with Ibon Ruiz, but 2 minutes to the peloton. They have not given us any space today, unfortunately for us. Honestly, these guys are so intent. It's EF now, really on the front. Owain Toole absolutely riding himself into the ground as finally Ibon Ruiz drops away for the day. Valiant ride from him. Castrillo, it's up to you, but 1 minute, 14k still to go on this climb. But Pala surviving for now at this tempo, as we do have an attack by Christian Rodriguez. We'll try and follow that here with Castrillo, and we kick away from a group of riders. It's Guillaume Martin, Christian Rodriguez and Pablo Castrillo gone clear with 10k to go. But no, the breakaway is a lost cause today. Despite all our hard work, Castrillo, you're going to be nothing more than a satellite rider for this man right here. And actually, 5k to go, really not looking like today's stage is going to be very selective at all. Still 90 riders in the peloton, and wow, as he's going back to get water at a strange time, but we do have now a Carapaz attack at the front. Okay, here's the man EF have been riding for, of course, and he's only at 1 minute 50 to Roglic. Okay, Felix Gao is the next man to attack. Castrillo trying to mark these and just stay to the front of this group. Gal in the top 10 in GC, and Pablo looking very good and capable of surviving today. There's going to be no major gaps unless they happen on the downhill. It's a real shame Soto just was unable to survive today. He could have competed for today's stage with that sprint stat, but we have 3 riders to contend with here. But Wout van Aert, I'm pretty sure he's the man to beat. Although, of course, Jonathan Narvaez is very quick in a sprint. Groves and Corbin Strong have been dropped. They're in a group way behind on the mountain. So we're just trying to keep our guys in a good position. Not our job to chase Clement Berthet of AG2R. He'll be a great winner. Only 3k to go. We are staying to the front of this group, though, with Castrillo going to try and lead out Paula now. We have Skjelmose in a great position. There is Wout van Aert on the right hand side. Narvaez is ready to compete as well. Paula going for the line in the final kilometre, but there is Wout van Aert streaking away to victory. Narvaez trying to chase, but Wout van Aert in a league of his own. There is no one else in the picture as he crosses the line. Great finish though for Borade in the top 10. That's Wout's 3rd stage at this race now, and it's actually a big one because it moves him right into contention with Pau Mikel dropped today in that green jersey fight. And Wout has to be the favourite from this point, even with a 27-point deficit. And it's a brutal final climb to finish stage 15. I mean, those final few K look absolutely demoralising for the riders. Massive fight for today's breakaway. As you can see, there are 18 riders up the road. I've noticed some very strong riders in this group as well. Skjelmose up the road. I've got Pau Mikel here. He's just going to sit in this group for now. Let's try and get some other riders in that group. But unfortunately for us, it's Pala on a -1 day. Oh boy. So the goal of today's breakaway is to take the intermediate sprint points here with Pau Mikel. It's going to be difficult for him to get to that point in the stage, I think, still in the breakaway. He's going to give it his best shot, and maybe there is a slim chance we can take the KOM jersey as well with 10 points available at this second first cap. Didn't manage to take any, unfortunately, at the first cap with Skjelmose taking 10. Shout out for Ibon Ruiz, man. He has been in the breakaway. He's won a stage from the break, and since then, he has been working for his teammates like no tomorrow. What's a rider? No one really punchy following our wheel with Guillaume Martin here. He goes on the attack, and now Pau Mikel tries to come around, giving it everything to the line. Have I gone too late? Potentially. He maybe takes 1 point there. No, not even that. That is so disappointing, meaning we need first place here to get that KOM jersey, man. Pau Mikel, he has the kick, he has the acceleration and the sprint. The trouble is getting him to the top of these climbs in position where he can sprint for them, because he spends his red trying to just stay with these guys at the front, as he's doing right now, slowly but surely. Anyway, Ibon Ruiz has again done some great teammate work right there. Not sure it's going to come off for us today though, because Pau Mikel is just spending energy in the wheel like absolutely no tomorrow. Let's go 99 to the line, see if we have any type of kick, but no points, no KOM jersey. Skjelmose though, looking like a real favourite for that suddenly. Alright, here's the opportunity to open up our gap even further to Wout van Aert with Pau Mikel, and that's exactly what we do, coasting across the line to take all 20 points. 20k to go then. Breakaway are entering the foot of the final climb today, and the percentages at the top, as expected, are absurd. We have a max gradient of almost 19%. Don't think we're going to win from this group, although almost 6 minutes, and Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe have been pacing, bringing that gap in from I think about 8.5 minutes. And Parra is entering the climb in a great position next to the likes of Sepp Kuss. Carlos Rodriguez is here as well. Roglic a few wheels up, but I'm afraid to say I'm not sure he'll be in a great position come the finish line. This is going to be a brutal one. There has literally been no tempo from the peloton, and Mikel Landa goes for an early one, and why not? He has a 50-second, almost minute gap already, and he's 4.5 minutes down in GC, so why not? He's allowed some freedom here as Decathlon AG2R finally coming to the front. Guys, we have 8k to go. Pala is suffering as Felix Gao puts in the attack that AG2R have been tempoing for all day long. And our energy, we're almost dead. We have 7.5k still to go with some of the toughest gradients to come. I'm afraid this is not looking good. Alright, 5k to go. This is the moment we're just going to have to let the group go because we still have Castrillo to support us. He is going to defend us all the way to the line, and we let the group go as Ibon Ruiz makes his bid for victory, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to get back to the likes of Max Poole attacking aggressively up the road. One of these five surely going to win today's stage. The Vuelta is bonkers. I mean, look at the gradients we are on. After such a long day out, we suddenly are up to almost 20%, I think, today, just under 19%, and we are going to lose heaps of time in the GC, with the GC guys, of course, riding up the road here. And Shelmoser is going to win by an absolute mile, almost 2 minutes ahead of the next best from that breakaway. Wow. But big news here, because Primoz Roglic is dropped, and he is getting dropped by a heap of GC favourites, with Almeida, Landa and Ciccone up the road. Boy oh boy, this Vuelta turning upside down today, and Parra is well down the road, as you can see, although Roglic just round the corner. 7th place on the stage for Ibon Ruiz. A great result, to be fair, after all of that work. Shelmoser wins by almost 2 minutes 40. What a ride. But Roglic loses a heap of time. Almost 2 minutes to Ciccone and Almeida, with Gal and Landa up there as well. With Parra 7 minutes down on the stage. Winner. Okay. But we do survive in the top 10. I feared that would look worse, but we're still there in the top 10 placings in the GC. Not sure how, but we're there. Roglic's gap cut to 25 seconds, and Shelmoser catapults himself into the lead of Polka Dots now. Okay, one final brutal stage remains today. It's been a massive episode, full of mountains, full of climbs. There's one more, and it's a big one, the Lagos de Covadonga. And you know what? Final episode of the day. I have gone big or gone home because Jose Felix Parra has moved his way into the breakaway. I thought we might be allowed to do this with him now at 4 minutes 30. I've got Castrillo, probably our best rider, up the road as well. Also with Pau Mikel here as well. Maybe to pick up some points later on. It's 1 minute to the peloton, and it seems the red jersey team are allowing this to happen. Perfect. Honestly, the only thing missing from this breakaway at this point is the ruler, the beast himself, Ibon Ruiz. Alright, we now have a decent group of riders with Gaudu, Dunbar, Martin, Genietz and Guillaume Martin trying to join the breakaway. I'm happy for them to get here because, of course, the more riders, the stronger this group is, the better chance Jose Felix Parra has of moving up in the GC and gaining more time. If I was going for the stage win purely, I probably would have paced to try and keep these guys behind, honestly. Red Bull bore Hansgrohe control on the front with no urgency at all. So, 17 riders are here, and we have Castrillo looking after Parra for now, with Pau Mikel working hard on the front to try and build a gap. The gap is 4 minutes 29, and you know what? 4 minutes 15 is nearing the point where we're moving into the provisional, the virtual red jersey, as it ticks over now. 4 minutes 32. There you go. Jose Felix Parra, you are the virtual leader of the Vuelta a España, my man. You know those stages of PCM where you literally play them at ×1 speed the whole time? I've had a few of them, and this is definitely one of them because I'm excited by the prospect of what could happen today. It is Pau Mikel's job now to absolutely drill it into the foot of the La Collada Yomena, as we have 5 minutes 25 back to the peloton, still virtually in red, but just about, with Dens chasing fast now. The climb begins then, 6.5k to go, and we are at an infernal tempo right now in the breakaway. It's the likes of Kenny Ellison, George Bennett, Gaudu setting it, and we're just sitting at the back, happy to follow the tempo if they're going to race like this. Still 5 minutes back to the peloton, and you can see by our guys' energy here, they're not hanging around either. This is looking great so far. There are literally 46 riders left in the peloton, and guys, we have Parra a further 5 minutes up the road, with Castrillo still here to help him hammer it into the foot of the Lagos de Covadonga, and he has a great full looking yellow bar. Oh boy, this stage is going so well right now. A dream scenario. And Red Bull, Bora Hansgrohe know it. They're using Martinez, Lipovic and Vlasov to try and close the gap in the valley. 9.5k to go. It's 2 minutes 50 back to the peloton, and this climb is steep pretty much all the way up. Quick check on the peloton. It's a Tia Volta on the front. The red jersey Roglic is isolated again. He has literally no teammates left, and Parra's energy is being absolutely sapped by these gradients. Still 14 riders together. Castrillo is done. Okay, him and Pau Mikel are the real MVPs today, as long as he doesn't block his own teammate who gets back to the group pretty quickly. But we're here, 3.5k to go. Can't believe there's been no attack so far from this group, and we still have over 90 seconds to a 21 rider peloton. Lennart van Etvelt is the next man to struggle as you see this group coming apart all the time. Parra is still here. Let's hold the wheel and stay on the wheel of David Gaudu into the final kilometre. And yet the breakaway coming apart as well, as Gaudu getting dropped under the Flamme Rouge. Let's stay to the front if we can. Caruso doesn't really have it, does he? We need to drive it all the way to the line. I don't think we're going to win today's stage, but we're going to give it our best shot. And Damiano Caruso is the heartbreaker. We're going to end up just off the podium on the stage, but we gain time in the GC. Let's go. It's about a minute gains on the best of the GC riders. Fourth place in the end, Louis Meintjes did steal the stage win from Damiano Caruso and about a minute gains on the best guys in the GC. Ciccone, by the way, dropping a heap of time. He loses second place to Joao Almeida, and Jose Felix Parra jumps over Mikel Landa and really cementing that top 10 spot, because we have 3 minutes now to Yates, Skjelmose and further back to Van Etvelt. So absolutely mission accomplished. We would have never gained time on these guys, obviously, had we just stayed in the peloton. Roglic looking dominant, but behind. There are literally just over 1 minute between Joao Almeida and Felix Gau. It is so close in the GC, and somehow we are still hanging around with Parra. 2 stage victories, in addition to dominating the green jersey so far with some sprint opportunities. I think Wout may still be the favourite for that. We have options in the KOM jersey, of course, and we are seconds in the team classification. It's been some race so far, and we'll finish it in the next episode, hopefully with a bang as well. Anyway, if you enjoyed today, hit that like button as always, smash subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.